Okay. Okay. So in the previous class, now we have understood about the what is a controller, what is a service, and technically we did not discuss about this repository layer, right? So we started using the in-memory database. So I do not want to introduce the database without understanding the complete HTTP works, because connecting to the database is going to be really easy, but you need to understand about the more about the HTTP verbs. We will focus on that. Today we will cover the remaining HTTP verbs. What are the HTTP verbs? Remember, we have the get mapping, right? So these are the HTTP verbs.
Yes, sir.
Get mapping, and you have the
Get
post.
patch delete.
Yes, yes. Post mapping. You have the patch mapping, put mapping, and you have the delete mapping. Okay, and you can also use the patch mapping, but in some cases we don't usually go with the patch mapping. Whatever you want to do, whatever the modifications that you want to do, you will be doing that by using the put mapping itself. And again, these mappings, these HTTP verbs are the semantics. Okay, see, the question could be like this. For example, if I use the delete mapping, is it really necessary to delete the resources? If I use delete mapping is used to delete a particular resource in the database. Yes or no? Is it really necessary? I mean, should I follow that really? If I use delete mapping, is it mandatory for the developer to delete the resource? Understand my question?
Yes, sir. No need to create in the first place, sir.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, it is not mandatory to delete the resource. According to, I mean, we are just following the HTTP semantics. That's it. I mean, it is not a rule, but it is a recommendation. Okay, so we are explicitly, declaring a method by using the @delete mapping annotation, so that the developers who see that method, they know that okay, this particular method is going to perform a delete operation. If it is not performing a delete operation, do you think it is not going to work? It is not like that. Still, it is going to work. Right? Likewise, even for the post mapping also, is it really necessary to update the result? I mean, to post the record? Not necessary. For the put mapping also, according to the HTTP semantics, what does the HTTP semantics says? Get mapping is simply nothing but getting a resource. So you define a method accordingly. You define the method which is going to get the resource from the database. Right? Post mapping, according to HTTP semantic, it is going to save a record, or save a particular record. Okay, it is not mandatory for developer to use post mapping to save a record. You can do some other operation also. And for the put mapping, according to HTTP semantics, put mapping is completely used to update the existing record. Existing record. So does it mean that the developer, I mean the method has to update the existing record? No, it is not necessary. These are the HTTP semantics we have to follow. But one thing you have to remember, you have to understand about the idiom potency. Idiom potency. Okay, if each and every HTTP verbs, they have the idiom potency, which means, see, they don't, if you use the put mapping, if you keep repeating the put mapping, if you keep hitting the method that is annotated with @put mapping, you keep hitting that over and over again, okay, the end result is going to be same. The operation is not repeated. We will understand that, in some time. Okay, so we always talk about the idiom potency. It is not necessary that it has to do these operations. According to HTTP semantics, it is what? It is just a recommendation, not the compulsion. Are you able to understand what I'm trying to say?
Yes, sir.
Only one line answer. Okay, it is just a recommendation, it is not even a compulsion at all. As simple as that. Okay, so in the last session we have discussed only about these two things, right? So we have discussed about this get mapping and the post mapping. So one more thing you have to discuss, one more thing you have to understand. See, even in the get mapping, for example, if I have a particular method, let us say that I have a method like public, public return type is something like string get user. Some method I am taking, okay, and this get user, if I just invoke